talk about what we will cover as part of this cybersecurity session as per se. So the first concept or the week one would be your basics. Like we'll talk about cyber kill chain, we'll talk about OSI layers, your network basics. So you might ask a question, Kishore, why the hell are you talking about network security when we are here to learn cybersecurity? Let me ask you a question. Where does all your application operating systems run? How does your applications communicate with each other? Right? You get my point? So that's the reason we need to understand our networking. Our networking concepts have to be strong, and based on that, it's. I'll tell you what. How good at at your networking concepts. That's easier for that. That will be that much easier for you to understand the security concepts. Because if I talk about TCP, if I talk about UDP, if I'm talking about protocols, it's all on network layer. Right, there are some on the presentation layer, but there are some of more of them network layer. If I talk about router switches, and how does data flow from my network to your and it reaches you, it's the basic networking concepts. You need to understand that, and that's what we'll try to cover on the very first week. The second week we'll talk about your SIEM, right? Your security operation centers, which is security incident and event management solutions. We'll talk about, we'll use Splunk here as part of your SIEM coverage here. I'll show you how to install your SIEM. I'll route to a data package which you can have, I think, 20 or 22 GB of data, which you can play around with. We'll all play around with the data. I'll show you what exactly is this. Since my previous company, we used to use Splunk there. And I can show you in practicality all the use cases which a SOC will monitor, right? From stage 1 to stage 2, all the different stages where we are trying to track an attack, trying to track a bad actor coming in. We'll walk through all those scenarios and use cases. Third week will also be the SIEM, where we'll talk about the architecture, the Splunk components, the basic searches. How do I search in my SIEM solution? What kind of reports, what kind of alerts, what kind of how can I write a search query to look for different type of data, right? And will help you out, kind of write those queries as well. Do I see anybody has any question? Okay. Then I think on the fourth week we'll talk about antivirus. We'll try to show you semantic endpoint protection. I can share the package with you. You can also install your packages. You can install VMs and then push your semantic endpoint protection clients on those. And then we'll talk about antivirus in general, the concepts of it. How does a antivirus architecture really works in a company? Probably we'll also talk about your next gen antiviruses, your endpoint EDR solutions, endpoint detection and response solutions, and how would those compare with your current traditional antivirus solutions. Then we'll talk about some security devices, which is your network firewall, your web application firewalls, your IDS IPS, your vulnerability management systems, your data loss prevention systems, your email gateways, your proxies, your incident response procedures as per se. We'll talk about all those areas, and how we would monitor different areas with different use cases, and how all that will tie up into your incident response process, right? Then I think the sixth week would be your vulnerability management, where you'll use a tool called NESIS, where you'll be using it to scan your own environment or your own machine to find out what the vulnerabilities are there. I think people who have done the patch management, I think I heard someone here, they'll help us understand, when we find out a vulnerability, how they go about patching an environment, because that's a real area where we need the IT's helps to go patch an environment or patch the vulnerabilities, if I say. And then at the end, I think we'll have a couple of written tests. We'll try to prepare your resumes. If you're going for an interview, we'll try to conduct mock interviews and share some interview tips. Again, mock interviews, I think I'll conduct ad hoc. It'll not be like end of the session you'll have it, but I think I can ask you questions about, or give you a snippet of what type of interview questions I might ask, right? And then and then how do you want to answer that, and how do you want to prepare that? That's all. That's what we try to cover. And it'll be 6 weeks based on the vacations, based on the holiday times. It might extend, and then we'll have a weekly assignment. I'll probably give you some questions to prepare on. And in the next class we might come back and revise those questions, ask questions, see how many people have handled, or how many people have researched about it. Again, as I said, we'll have mock interviews. I can ask you questions. And see how much people are trying to answer those questions, and then help each other. If one person has a better answer, we'll try to understand why and what about it. Again, guys, the way I trying to teach here is if you ask me a question, I'll try to ask you a question back again. It's more towards introspection rather than me answering your question straightforward. It's not going to help out. So if you put on your hat, like say suspicious guy hat, like you are suspecting everything, like why is this happening? If you ask a question, we'll try to answer, try to go and have an argument here, and try to go and understand and answer that, so that you understand the concept better, and I'm able to explain much better than for everyone's benefit here, right? So I would need more participation from you. You need to ask a lot of questions. Don't hesitate that it's a stupid question, what others might think. We are here to learn. There is no stupid question. There might be times where I don't know something, which I'll try to help you out and learn and come back. Because again, for me, this is a learning session. I try to teach because I can learn, I can get better at the concepts which I'm trying to teach on. So that, and if you wake me up in the middle of the night and ask you this concept, I might be able to teach you. And that's the perfection level which I'm trying to get across. And if you get better at a concept, I think I'm more than happy to kind of, I'll be extremely happy when that happens. But again, don't restrict yourself from asking a question. Don't hesitate. Don't worry that nobody's going to judge you here.